Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another At America TV event with me, Jasmine. I hope you all are doing well. So for those of you joining us for the first time, At America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. We have temporarily moved to a digital platform so you can still enjoy all of our events at home. So for tonight, we will be discussing English Conversation 101. But before we begin, I would like to share with you that At America is having a giveaway. As part of our 10th anniversary celebration, we are having a very special activity each month with different giveaways. This August, we have Academania, in which we're giving out a voucher for the TOEFL IBT test and another American standardized test of your choice. To know more about this activity and how to join, you can go to the link at atam.tv/academania. And now, for those of you who are already in the race, are you ready for our third keyword? For the third keyword, it can be found by going to the link below at atam.tv/academania3 with the number 3 in the end. Remember, this link is time limited, so the sooner you get it, the better. Good luck. And also, before we begin in tonight's event, I would like to share with you our social media quiz question for this evening. So tonight's question is, which one of these is a synonym for the word belief? Is it A, invitation, B, conviction, C, admonition, or D, superstition? So which one of these choices is the correct answer for the synonym of belief? You can participate in our social media quiz by commenting on our social media platform on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. And for those of you who got the answer correctly, you will get a live shout out from us at the end of the program. All right, to begin tonight's event, I would like to invite our amazing facilitators for this evening. Please give a warm welcome for Mr. Jesse and Miss Kiky, English teachers at English Today.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good evening. Hello, hello. Welcome to the class. So, hi Jesse.
Hello, Kiky. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Okay, so maybe we can welcome our participants of the day. Hi Stefania, Ismi, Rindu, Sarfina, Ifada.
Do you see anybody from the last time we were here, Kiky?
I think
been a while.
Audrey was here last week. Hi Audrey, how are you? You can unmute yourself, by the way. Can you? Audrey, are you there?
Yeah, I don't really see any familiar names here, actually. I think a lot of these people are going to be first timers with me, at least. I know you've done a few classes before me.
Right. And Audi, hi Audi. Ahmad Farid, hi, welcome to the class. And Mr. BJ, oh, I think I forgot Mr. Bojo or something. He was here last week. Hi, Mr.
Bojo?
BJ.
Can you confirm?
Bojo, or I forgot. What's your nickname? I'm sorry.
My name is Tulong, so you enough to call me Toyo.
Toyo. See,
close
I
enough.
was right with the O letter.
It's easy to memorize my name. If you remember Japanese Toyota and
Good one. Okay, I will definitely remember that. Welcome back, Mr. Toyo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Okay, I'm very great, thank you. I'm happy to be back here. And today we're having Mr. Jesse here to explain us about the lesson of the day.
Yes. So we're going to take some time today, guys, to go over a very specific category of idioms that I think might be useful to a lot of you guys here. You know, I've been here at America once or twice before, and I feel like a lot of the demographic that usually joins us is like teens or like college age students. So I was thinking to myself, you know, this could actually be kind of useful for a few of you guys if you're studying abroad or if you have any plans to go outside of the country, you know, after COVID, of course, hopefully. But if everything dies down, some of these phrases might be quite useful since they are education related.
Right.
I remember when I went to college in America, we throw around a lot of idioms, guys. It's a really key part of speaking English fluently. It really adds a nice polish to your speaking if you're able to add some of these key phrases to your vocabulary. We use them a lot. I use them a lot, and sometimes I don't even realize it, So, the more phrases the better. And if you ever have a chance to use some of these, I definitely encourage it. It makes you sound a lot better.
Right. So just to demonstrate, why don't we do a little bit of a conversation, Jesse, using
I'm up for that.
one of the phrasal verbs or idiom, okay? And we would like our participants here to guess what it means, okay? So we'll see if you are knowledgeable enough about the meaning of one of the idioms or phrasal verbs that we're going to use, okay? So let's begin with the first conversation. Okay, so I'm going to ask Jesse to hang out with me tonight. So Jesse, why don't you hang out with me tonight after work?
And then I could say, sure, let's hang out at the club. All right, something like that. All right.
Okay,
Let's go by the mall later today. That's another phrasal verb I could use, go by, which means go to.
Wait. We can't tell them that yet. They should guess what it means, Jesse.
Let's start over. Do it again.
Okay, what about that word just now? Hang out. You guys know what it means? Can you type it, or you can simply unmute yourself and tell us what it means if you knew? And do you know whether that's an idiom or it's a phrasal verb? You know the difference? So there are two questions on this, yeah? The first one, what is the meaning of that? And second one, is it an idiom or is it a phrasal verb? Anyone? Feel free to type your answer on Zoom chat, or you can simply unmute yourself and tell us your answer. Anybody? Ahmad, maybe? Would you like to guess, or would you like to answer that? Go ahead, Ahmad. You know the meaning of hang out?
I don't really know about meaning of hang out, but it's about phrasal verbs, I think.
Phrasal verb.
Yeah, it's definitely a phrasal verb.
That is correct.
Based on the context, right? Like if she's inviting me somewhere and I agree and I say, sure, let's hang out. It basically means, let's get together and do some sort of leisure activity. Usually it's reserved for leisure. It's not like a professional word. Like I don't say, hey, let's hang out and go write a paper for work, right? Like it's not really used in a professional sense. It's definitely more reserved for casual conversation and a leisure activity. So yeah, it is a phrasal verb. Good job.
Yeah, and Odi is also answering correctly. Going out, yes, going out. But as what Jesse mentioned, it's actually on a leisure event.
Yeah, it's definitely used more for like leisure and casual setting. Give me one more. Give me another example that I can answer.
What? Me? I mean, we do the conversation, right?
Yeah, give me another conversation.
Okay. Okay. So, Jesse, when will Mr. D give our papers back?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I just handed it to him yesterday.
There are two things in there. What are they?
So I just handed it.
Handed it, yeah. And another one is?
Give back.
Give back, yes. And I actually said give our papers back.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's
I
okay
put
though.
the subject in between.
Yeah, that works too.
That works too. Okay, anybody know? The first thing is the meaning of give back, and the second one is hand in. What do they mean? And what category is that? Is it an idiom or phrasal verb? Hand in means, oh, Dedik, hold on. I'm familiar with Dedik. Hi, Dedik. Are you there?
Been here before, yeah.
You've been here before, right, Dedik? Hello, welcome back. Dedik, you can unmute yourself, you know.
Well, Nurmadia said return transitive. What do you think of that answer? I think return is correct. I think that's a good way to describe give back, right? Like in order to give something back, first you must give it and then it comes back, right? So it is kind of like returning. I'll take that answer. That's good.
Good. Hand in. Hand in? What does that mean?
I think Dedic's correct too. Give. Seems to work.
Oh yeah, sorry. I did not see his answer.
Yeah, if you say hand it in, that means to give, right? It's the same as just transferring one object to another person. Yeah. So any kind of object, I can kind of say hand it in, but be careful because it is typically reserved for documents. This is a word that we usually do not use for just any object. But for example, if I have like car keys, then I can say hand in. Like if I rent a car and then I say, hey, hand in the keys after you're done driving it, right? I can use it for very small objects, but if it's like super big, I don't think hand in is the appropriate term. We would usually just say return.
Anything you can hold with your hand.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't want to make any rules, but maybe like anything you can hold in your hand. Perhaps it's better to say, you know, I can hand it in. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. And Dedik has a question. Is it similar to hand over? Little bit.
I want to say but honestly, like hand over is like more aggressive. Ya kan?
Yeah.
It's like if I have a gun, I'm like hand over the money.
And I think in a business term,
more like a threat.
In a business term, handover means like I'm handing over my work to you, so you're the one.
I heard that in Indonesia, you guys like to say hand over to define like the exchange of responsibilities. Like if you're in a position and you're like somebody's replacing you, but we don't say that in America. That's a unique usage that I've only heard in Indonesia. Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know where you guys got that from. Maybe
I mean, we do that a lot on business terms, you know.
And I always hear this like I'm handing over my position to whatever, right?
So
but
it's
in America,
grammatically incorrect.
But it works. I know what you're saying, so it's very functional English.
Yeah, very much indeed. I think English is more like an art, yeah?
Oh, it can be, if you're good at it. But if you're not, just keep it functional.
I think you know the idea about idioms and phrasal verbs based on our example, yeah?
Yeah, let's go over some more.
Hold on, Jesse, we have Muhammad Arif said, what's the word handover in America?
Yeah, it's like if you use this word in America, again, it highly depends on the context of the situation, but it tends to be more of an aggressive phrasal verb. Like if I owe debt to a bank and they repossess my house, maybe then I say, oh my God, I had to hand over my house to the bank.
I see.
You understand?
There you go.
So there's an element
menyerahkan maybe in Indonesian
there's an element of force, right? It's like almost like aggressive, but if I say hand in, it's like I'm doing it of my own free will.
Right.
You understand? So there are very subtle differences with phrasal verbs, and that's what makes it so difficult for people to really understand, because there are very tiny ways that we use it that, you know, if you weren't born in a Western country, you simply don't know. You're not exposed to it. So there are certain contexts that phrasal verbs are used for, but we're going to go over that today. Yeah. I'm going to try to go through a lot of different examples and help you guys out with understanding like the deeper meaning with some of these phrasal verbs. But most of them are educational, you know, education related.
Or related. Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can begin with explaining the difference between phrasal verbs and idioms. So as you guys know, that phrasal verb has two words usually, like hand in, hand over, right?
Yeah, it tends to be like a mix of a verb and an adverb or some sort of like preposition, something like that. So you can think of it like a mix, right?
Yes.
Just taking two words that mean something different individually.
Put them together.
To make a different word.
And it's going to create a meaning, a different meaning. That's right. And it's usually either a verb with adverb or a verb with preposition.
Yeah.
And when it comes to idioms, there are a group of words in a specific order that form an expression whose meaning is different from that of the usual meaning of its parts. So basically, it's not literal, isn't it? So
yeah, it's not literal. I think idioms are certainly not to be taken literally, and they also tend to be longer than phrasal verbs.
Yeah.
I think you'll find phrasal verbs are usually just one or just two words, but an idiom can be like an entire phrase or sentence or something super long. But they are very similar in function. Idioms describe, you know, ideas that are not to be taken literally, word for word, and so do phrasal verbs. So these are definitely words that have a lot of changing meanings depending on the context of the sentence. So don't define any of these one by one. That is a no-no.
Completely. So don't say it's raining cats and dogs, and then there's it's raining cats.
Don't do that, guys.
Only. That would be confusing. Okay, so maybe we can focus on idioms first. Yeah. So what are idioms? So as we already mentioned before, idioms are phrases, long sentences, which people use in everyday language, which do not make sense literally, but we understand what they mean. Okay, so an idiom is also an expression that has a meaning apart from the meaning of its individual words. So do not put them, like take them out and then replace it with other things. That's not how idiom works. Yeah. And why do we use idiom? If it's used correctly, idioms can amplify messages in a way that draws reader in and helps to awaken their senses. So here's a fun fact. Would you like to read it for me, Jesse?
Well, I mean, I'll just tell you how I feel about it. I think idioms, this sentence is correct. They do play an important part, and the reason they play an important part is because they add a very native feel to how you speak. It's a very good way to communicate with foreigners who are used to this type of language. So oftentimes we're not going to say words like return, right? We're not going to say words like, please return my books when you're done. You're not always going to hear that. We'll say, hey, can I get that back after you're finished?
Sounds more natural.
It sounds, one, more natural. Two, it helps people become more familiar with you and more comfortable with you as a speaker. And that's very important, is to build confidence and to be comfortable with the person you're talking to. So that's another part of language that is very, very subtle, but very, very important, is letting the other person know that, hey, I know what these idioms mean. I'm okay using them. You can talk to me in English. You know, so it's a very good way to develop, a confidence between two people that, you're okay using these words. So I think that's why it's very important, especially for people who, maybe travel or are coming from a different country, and you're trying to make new friends, or you're at a university and you're trying to establish relationships with English speakers. It's a really good way to do that.
Great. Fantastic. Okay, well, this is pretty much the same as what Jesse just explained, so maybe we can move on. The risk of using idioms incorrectly. Okay,
yeah,
guys.
Sound dumb.
You gotta be careful.
but
okay.
but it's like dumb in a cute way, I think.
Yeah, true. I mean, you look really good if you use it correctly.
Yeah.
But you look really bad if you use it incorrectly. So.
I mean, I don't really agree with that second one. Like, I always appreciate when someone tries to use an idiom, and I'm always impressed if you can pull it off. So if I hear a guy who's, using an idiom slightly off, I still know what you're trying to say. And I like the fact that, you're trying to mix up the language a bit. It sounds a lot better than somebody just using very basic standard English. It adds a lot of variety to your speaking, and that's good. I think that's always good.
So what matters is the effort, that we're making.
Yeah, definitely.
Or is it just because you're also an English teacher?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I would be saying this even if I wasn't, like, promoting it. But yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But it's good for encouragement. It's good for encouragement. Okay, next. Let's continue with the phrasal verb this time. Okay. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get to the examples of idioms later on after this. Yeah. So let's focus on phrasal verbs. They are phrases that indicate actions. Okay. So pay attention. When it comes to action, it's always related to verbs. So the verbs here that we have, such as get, go, write, take. Those are the verbs, which is action word. And if you combine it with preposition or adverb, such as get up, then the meaning will change. And go through, write down, take after. So all of these means differently. And you actually need to know that you need to know the meaning and find out before you actually use them in a conversation. Right? And it will be really helpful to use the context to understand them, because when it comes to phrasal verbs, there are two meanings. Sometimes it can be literal, sometimes it can mean idioms, like idiomatic meanings. For example, if you say looked outside, she opened the door and looked outside. It's literally she looked and then she looked out. So that's why you call it looked outside. And she was walking across the street. That's literally walking and then crossing the street. But when it comes to idiomatic meaning, you can say, put me up tonight. Put up, it doesn't mean that you're putting a fence up, but it means that you're actually let someone stay in your house. Can you imagine put up? Put up has actually different contexts as well when it comes to meaning. Like, thanks for putting up with me, Jesse. So that's another meaning, right?
No problem.
Yeah, so no problem. Okay. Thanks. So yeah, basically, you need to know the context of using phrasal verbs before you put them in your sentence.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think if you are going to use these words, you really should have to think about what you're trying to say first, and then pick the correct phrasal verb that kind of fits that meaning. Again, there are a ton of phrasal verb, literally hundreds. Yeah, probably more.
Even more.
Yeah, probably even more, right? So the more phrases you learn, the more tools you have, right? The more options you can select from to kind of fit the idea you're trying to communicate. But yeah, Kiki's absolutely correct. Context is super important, especially for idiomatic phrasal verbs. It's very tricky sometimes.
Correct. And sometimes the preposition or the adverb can be placed either after the verb or after the object. So here you can see we have put up. The subject is in between the verb and the preposition or the adverb. Okay, so that's completely normal. That is flexible. Yeah. Now let's practice, guys, and I want you to try to match the phrasal verbs to its meaning. Here we have fall behind, go over, look up, miss out, and take in. Anybody would like to try number 1, fall behind? Feel free to unmute yourself and just tell me the answer. What does fall behind mean?
Can we unmute them?
I think they can unmute themselves. Can you try,
okay.
guys? Oh, wait. While waiting for someone's response, Rahmat Hidayat said, is it okay for using idioms in education purpose or formal events? What do you think, guys?
Of course. I think normally idioms are used in a casual sense, but honestly, I would be misdirecting you if I said that idioms are only used in a casual sense. They are not. That is inaccurate. I have been to many formal events where I use idioms to like break the ice, kind of give a very comfortable and casual feel to whomever I'm talking to. You can use these wherever you want. Now, mostly they're used in casual conversations, but that does not exclude professional events or formal events. You can use the presentations. It's okay. Absolutely okay.
Yeah, even we have business phrasal verbs,
yeah,
right?
There's a lot of business-oriented phrasal verbs that are great, and they make you sound great, and it's a great way to build confidence. Yeah,
make you sound credible.
It's a great way to build confidence with your audience, in my opinion.
True. Okay, now maybe we can ask Dedik. Yeah, I think we should ask someone here. Dedik, go ahead. Fall behind. What do you think? Oh, we have Fioni. Fioni, you'll go with number 2, yeah? Dedik?
All right.
Why don't you try?
Fall behind. I guess it means to not include something or someone.
I think let's fall behind.
Not really. Can you try
not
again?
quite.
Can you try again?
Fall behind.
Sorry?
Well, maybe I can give him like an example sentence. If I say, for example, oh my God, I'm so busy at work and I'm falling behind. What do you think that means?
To not be on schedule.
There you go.
Yay!
Perfect.
Good job. Yeah. And Atika is also correct. She actually mentioned it on Zoom chat. Good job.
Yeah. You're both right.
Well done. And Fioni, where are you? I think you just raised your hand. What do you think go over mean? Anyone? Yeah?
Is it to find a piece of information in a book, internet, etc.?
Not quite.
Try again. Odi, okay, wait. Thank you for trying though. Odi, go ahead. Odi, you're raising your hand. Can you unmute, please?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. Over, look up.
Maybe to.
Oh no, number two. Sorry, number 2.
Oh, go over.
Go over. Yes.
Okay, go over. To not include something or someone, like let it over maybe.
All right, I'm gonna use it in a sentence again, yeah. So
please.
I want everybody to listen to the sentence and then try again, yeah. So if I say, wow, I'm taking a test next week. I should go over my notes. What does that mean?
I should go over my notes. Review some.
There you go.
You are correct. Yes. Nice.
So
Veronica and Atika, they're also correct. Yes, well done. Someone wants to do number 3. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Audrey? I think Audrey
No.
raised
I
her hand.
think Shanuwalini. I think he already. Oh, he maybe. He already.
Look up. Look up is to find a piece of information in a book, internet, etc.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Jesse hasn't even given the example yet.
Yeah, that was really good. Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah, can you try? Can you try to make it in a sentence?
He's like, no.
Shanualini, are you there?
Can anybody use the word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait. She's trying. Okay, go ahead. Can you try to put it in a sentence?
I tried to look up. I tried to look up some additional information from for my thesis. Oh my God!
Hey, that works.
Fantastic.
That was pretty good. Yeah, you're kind of like struggling there, but you made it to the end.
You did it. Okay.
Really
Number 4. Audrey, go ahead. Miss out. Audrey, miss out means.
Miss out is to absorb new facts and information.
Okay, Jesse, we need your help on this.
I'm up again. All right, so I want to say, for example, if I mistook something, I can say, what can I say?
You missed out our party.
Maybe I can say, we had a party last night. You missed out on it.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, that is correct. So Jessica. Sorry. I actually read.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's me and Jessica. You're correct.
Yeah. So miss out is actually to not include something or someone.
Yeah,
so
absolutely correct.
When it comes to school, I missed out a subject or I missed out a lesson.
Yeah, you can say that. I think it's more like for material. Like, for example, if you're in class and the teacher is just lecturing, right? Saying a lot of words. I can say, I missed out on that when I was in class, right? Like I didn't hear that or I forgot that piece of information. So yeah, you can definitely use this for any kind of like information or something that you missed for a test. It's a good phrasal verb for that.
Yep. So of course, we know that take in means to observe new fact and information. Now, here's a challenge for you guys. Put them in a sentence. The best one will win.
Yeah, I like that.
A point from us, yeah.
Okay. So just write in the chat box, yeah.
Write it on the chat box. Make a sentence using the phrasal verb take in. Go ahead. We'll see who makes the best sentence. Anybody? Or Mr. Toyo. See, I remember your name now. Yes, Mr. Toyo, do you know the meaning of take in already?
Take in, I think it is to delay the answer in the next time. For instance, I take the answer in the next
meeting. I think he's trying to say like I'll accept your answer the next meeting, like that.
Yeah.
Not sure about that. Not quite.
Question and I can answer.
Well, for example, I think Dedic maybe. I'm new in this. So I should take it in all the way. Let me see what this means. Yeah, maybe.
Take all the informations, perhaps, about the office.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll write a sentence.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll add my 2 cents, so I can say, for example.
You want to annotate maybe so everyone can see.
Yeah. I need to. Oh no. I'm not sure.
Oh, you can't. Oh, yeah. I don't think you can.
I'll just add it to the chat.
Yeah. Sure.
I need to pay attention.
Oh, wait. Nurmadia is actually giving it the right good
I like
example.
It. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So it usually applies to information, guys. It's not a physical action. I'm not like literally taking an object or like receiving something. I am processing information.
Yeah.
Right. It's a mental state. Like I'm taking it in, right? I'm paying attention, I'm focused, and I'm absorbing information. So try not to think of it as like a physical phrasal verb, like an action. It's more of like something you do with your mind. I was taking my test. Not quite, Nenny. I wouldn't use it like that.
The news is or the news has?
Let's see. The news is is.
Is. It's a is.
Yeah. You're right the first time.
Yeah.
I think Nirmadia won.
Yay!
Okay. She got the closest in my opinion.
That's true. That's true actually. So maybe so for Mr. Toyo especially, so take in bahasa I think menyerap informasi.
Oh, you guys have an equivalent.
Yeah, of course.
Does bahasa have phrasal verbs? I'm honestly, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, why? Is there a reason?
We have idioms, but not phrasal verb.
Okay. It's just like, is it too like difficult? Like, does it just make your language more confusing? I feel like that's the reason. Like, it's just why bother if I can say the actual literal word, right? Yeah, I don't know. English is kind of weird. We make up words even though we have
flavor.
Yeah, we just want to make learning harder for you guys.
I know.
We never want you to learn our language, so we purposefully make like 10 different ways to say one idea. So that you have to join classes like this. Aren't you glad?
That's why Indonesian language don't have a course.
Yeah, exactly. Or their courses are like 2 weeks long.
just like so short, yeah?
How to say I want food. How to say I go to work, done. The course is over.
Yes, Mr. Toyo, yes.
May I ask you?
Yes,
upset.
please.
Very often I find the word upset. It is including in this group.
Upset. No, that's an adjective.
Yeah, that's kind of that's an adjective I would use to describe like an emotional state, right? Like I'm upset with her, or she's upset with me. So yeah, it's not really a phrase.
However, this is actually interesting. If you switch that, it becomes a phrasal verb. Set up.
Oh yeah. You can. Yeah, man, you can. It's like a Rubik's cube. You can just turn it, and you'll get a new one. Phrasal verbs are very, very flexible, and there's a lot of them. But to answer your question, upset, no.
No, upset is an adjective. Yeah, like in English, they're very creative. Like stress is spelled backward as dessert. So there you go. That's one of the. I know it's not even related to this. Okay,
you're just like listing off random facts.
Just saying, I know, right?
You know that race car is spelled the same backwards. No, I didn't know that. Kiky, tell me more.
Back to the lesson, guys. Okay, educations and idioms. Okay. So go ahead, Jesse. Why don't you try helping us to understand
so like I said before, I think this is like really helpful for students. I don't know how many students I have here. I imagine I have a handful of just interested students who are, not even study abroad. Like sometimes your universities in Indonesia speak English. There are courses that have English textbooks, have English speaking professors who are in international classes. There are a lot of international classes in Indonesian universities. So I think these idioms can be applied to this country as well. And if you're in these classes and if you're going to one of these schools, then these idioms might be useful to you. If you can remember at least half of the ones we cover today, I think that's pretty good. That's a good start.
All right, so let's get to our idioms, guys. Okay, anybody would like to choose a number and guess what the idiom means?
Yeah, we're just gonna pick a box and then we're gonna show you an idiom or some sort of phrase, and then you're gonna try to guess what it means. That's it.
Yeah, and maybe we can put it in a sentence as well to
have
better understanding. So Nurmadia, would you like to try and pick a number, please? Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm going to try number 4.
4, sure. Yeah. 4. Drop out. Oh, Fioni, you'll be next, okay? So, Nurmadia, how do I call you? Do you have a nickname?
Okay, drop out.
Norma?
Yeah.
Is that your nickname, Norma?
Yeah, I have
okay.
nickname.
Okay.
Just call me Dia.
Oh, Dia.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
I was wrong. Oh, dear.
What
Okay,
does
Dia.
dropout mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
I think dropout as idiomatic is to leave prematurely and voluntarily.
Someone is taking a peek.
Uh,
Okay, you're right. You're right. Mhm.
No, I mean, yeah, we're just practicing, so I don't really care. As long as you're learning,
Yes.
you can
Yes.
have Google right in front of you
At least
for all
she's
I
making
care.
her effort. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're
Mhm.
absolutely correct. I think
Completely.
dropout is when you leave something, and I like how you included the word voluntarily. That's an important distinction. And like I said before, a lot of phrasal verbs have subtle distinctions that you really have to get deep into to understand. And yeah, it is voluntarily. It is voluntary
Yeah.
most of the time, I would say. So if I'm going to college and I don't want to do it anymore, I leave, I can say I dropped out, right? That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dia. Okay. Next is Fioni. Was it Fioni? Your turn. Why don't you pick a number? Go ahead.
I would like to choose number 8.
8, sure. Bookworm. Do you know what this means?
Is it a person who loves to reading books?
There you go.
Yes,
Perfect, yeah.
who love to read books.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I can't really add anything to that. It's just a person who really likes books. They're always reading it. That's good.
This can be an adjective, right?
Yeah, you can use it as like a
I know.
characteristic
I
to
know.
describe somebody. Like I
That's
said,
right.
there's a lot of different ways to use these.
Exactly. And Farihatul is actually correct. Kutu buku is how it's translated in
Oh,
Indonesian.
kutu buku.
Kutu buku.
So kutu means worm?
No, kutu means you know the one that's on your hair. Like I forgot the name.
What is it?
You know the tiny creature like ant.
Oh, like the tick?
Yes.
Oh
the
my
tick.
God, lice. That's a gross translation.
Well, no, maybe because you know when you have like an old book, you tend to find tick in it, right?
Oh.
You see what I mean? If you don't put it in, you know in a
Yeah.
good place.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Buku means book, right?
Oh yeah, lice. Dedik, you're right. It can be
Yeah,
lice.
lice.
It can be flea. Yes, you are correct. He is never got a kutu on his hair.
No, I guess not. But then again, I don't
Okay.
read many books, so maybe
I'm
that's
not a
why.
bookworm either. Yeah, that's right. Okay,
All
let's
right.
go with Ifada. Go ahead. Pick a number. Are you able to unmute? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I will choose lucky 7.
Lucky 7. Interesting number. Okay. Learn by heart.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Ifada? Oh, you are muted again. Okay, go ahead. I think you're still you are still muted. Can you unmute yourself? I tried to unmute you, but I can't. Okay, try again, please.
Now listen. I think learn by heart mean that you are really passionate when you are studying.
See, I knew
Like-
I would get one person to make a mistake on this one.
Aha, that's why you put this in here, yeah?
Yeah.
Jesse? Okay.
So I put this one in there just to illustrate how annoying phrasal verbs and idioms are, because they
Yeah.
are very annoying. And yeah, I think Dedik is right. Remember
Yes.
or memorize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, for example, if I were to use this in a sentence and I'm at my school, my university, I'm studying, I can say, I need to learn this by heart for our test, right?
Yeah.
You're saying like, I need to remember it
Yeah.
for the test, or I need to memorize it.
Yes,
for the
Audrey
test.
was right as well to memorize something.
Yeah.
Good.
So all of these are correct answers. Remember, memorize.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
like it's like a reflex, right? If I'm learning something by heart, it means I know it very well. I know it and I can recall the information quickly and like super well. So yeah, it's usually used in an academic setting. I rarely hear this phrase used outside of campuses and school.
Yeah, true. Okay, good one, good one. Now, Muhammad Nazim, maybe? You seem to be pretty quiet there. Go ahead, Nazim. Pick a number, please.
All right.
Yes, go ahead.
Maybe number 5.
5, sure.
Right.
Draw a blank. Yes, can you guess what that is?
Draw a blank.
Jesse, would you like to help him with the sentence?
No help.
No help. Oh my goodness. Jesse's being stingy right now.
I'll give you a sentence. So I can say this is used for like, you know, if well, how would I make a sentence without giving you the answer? Let me see. This is a hard one to give an example.
Wait. I think I can. I can try. I can try. Hold on. So when the teacher asked me something, I drew a blank.
Yeah, that's good.
Can I say that? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. When the teacher asked me something, I drew a blank. So what does that mean, Nazim?
When the teacher told draw a blank. Draw a blank. I don't really get it.
I see some correct answers in the chat box.
Yes, but have nothing to do, not quite.
Yeah, it's more like a no idea or I don't know the answer. I've even heard it to describe the state of confusion, like just a general state of confusion. Like if your car breaks down and you're like, oh my God, like I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what to do. It's just like a general state of confusion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to fail or find or remember something. That's also correct. Yeah.
I forgot to mention, guys, when it comes to phrasal verbs, you can actually adjust it with different tenses. So what Jesse just mentioned, I'm drawing a blank. Now that's using present continuous tense, which is completely flexible when it comes to phrasal verbs. Yeah, so
I think you did it too. You said drew.
I drew a blank.
Yeah, so
that's
again,
a past tense.
I mean, tenses apply no matter what word you're speaking in English. Like you always have to say like past, present, or future, which makes it extra difficult. So I'm sure you're all happy to hear that.
Completely.
Yeah. But yeah, the rules never like stop applying in English. All the rules that you learn, you have to apply them even to weird concepts like phrasal verbs and idioms, most likely.
That's true. That's true. So I think that's also what makes it different between idioms and phrasal verbs. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do that to an idiom, right? Jesse?
I want to say yes, but I'm sure I could find an example, like an exception. I'm sure I could if I really tried. But yeah, sure. So. For the most part, I think idioms are less susceptible to tense changes. I think phrasal verbs are more likely to be changed.
Yeah. Okay, let's go next. Who would like to try? Oh, Ifada, are you there? Ifada. Go ahead. Would you like to?
Yes.
Yes, please. Oh, after this, Christina, yeah? Okay, go ahead, Ifada. What number would you like?
12.
12, sure. Quick study. Interesting.
What does that mean?
Is it has a literal meaning? I think
it's pretty literal. I think you're on the right track.
Like
you're on the right track.
Quickly, like fast learning.
Okay.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Exactly. I was just gonna ask the same thing. Go
That's
ahead.
the hard part, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So like the test is tomorrow, so I need to quick study the subject.
See, that's why it's hard.
That's perfect.
But I think that's kind of wrong, honestly.
What? Really?
yeah, I think that's kind of wrong. So.
Okay. What did I miss?
For example, if I say, like to take your example, right? You said there's a test tomorrow. I need to quick study because it's tomorrow. But this actually has nothing to do with time. This phrasal verb has nothing to do with time. It's simply meaning the ability to learn quickly. It talks more about your skill, not about a deadline. So for example, if I say, I'm a quick study in math, I'm talking about my ability to understand mathematical concepts quickly.
Hold on, is this the same as fast learner?
Yes, it is. I can say fast learner, I can say quick study. These are all sama-sama.
Nurpita is having the same line as me. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think Audrey got it right.
Audrey got it correctly.
So did
I would say.
Nurpita and Farah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm not. What does SKS mean?
Sistem kebut semalam.
Is that like a method of learning?
Method of learning in overnight, like take an all-nighter. Take an all-nighter.
Oh yeah.
Do an all-nighter.
I think it's a little different, but maybe it's right. I'm not sure what SKS.
No. I don't think so. I mean, if the way you described it, it's not like that.
Yeah, it talks about ability, not time. Even though quick, it's kind of tricky. Yeah.
I know. I would say fast learner to make it easier,
Yeah, but I'm here to make things hard, so that's my job.
I know. Thank you, Jesse. Good to have you here.
Yes, always a pleasure.
Okay, so who did I mention before? Christina something, right? Go ahead. Christina, are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
I would like number 2, please.
2, sure. Teacher's pets. Okay, not a dog, okay? Do you know what this means?
I have no idea. But I know in Indonesia, but I don't really know in English.
What is it in Bahasa?
What is it in Indonesian? Yeah, what is it? Jesse would love to learn.
How do you say teacher in Bahasa?
Guru.
So anjing guru.
Sorry?
Anjing guru, like that?
Kesayangan guru gitu.
Favorite student, yes. Audrey is actually correct.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah.
Can anyone use this in a sentence? Yeah.
Yeah. Christina can do that as well. Go ahead.
I don't think I can make it.
All right, so I'll give you an example. So I can say it's kind of like an adjective. Once again, you're using it to describe like the characteristic of somebody. You can say, oh my God, Kiky is such a teacher's pet. Like that, like she's the best in class, she's the favorite, the teacher loves her. So you can say that about a person. It's an adjective.
Yeah. So I think I would agree with Ifada as well. Anak emas guru. Anak emas means like the golden student.
Yeah.
Anak emas. So yeah, that's actually good.
You can use it more generally. It doesn't necessarily have to be like the teacher's personal favorite. If I like say someone in class is a teacher's pet, it kind of just means they try really hard in school and they get good grades and maybe they're the best in class. So this phrasal verb is used very loosely.
Yeah.
But you can also use it to describe the person the teacher favors the most. That is also correct.
This is actually an interesting question from Audie. Is it too harsh to say someone as a pet?
Before I came to Indonesia, I would say no, but now that I heard I feel like insults in Indonesia are like animals, like they'll describe you as like a monkey or a dog or something like that. So now my opinion has changed and maybe it is too harsh. It depends what country you're in, I guess. If I'm in America, it's not really like an insult per se. But if I'm in Indonesia, maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you might want to use a different way to say it perhaps. Just not to offend
just speak
anyone.
English. Just say you're a teacher's pet instead of like guru anjing.
Okay.
One more.
So again, it depends on the culture, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Nanny, go ahead. You're raising your hand. Go ahead. Pick a number, please. Are you able to unmute?
Okay,
Yes.
I like to choose number 1.
Sure. Pass with
Oh,
flying colors.
I like this one.
Yeah, me too.
Pass with flying colors. I don't have
Really
idea.
confusing.
No
That's why
idea?
I like
Okay.
it.
The colors are not flying, that's for sure.
You don't know that for sure. They could be. They could be. Idioms are crazy.
Crazy. Definitely. Okay, so anyone has any idea?
Veronica.
Maybe Jesse, would you like to?
Veronica nailed it. If you read the chat.
Oh yeah,
Pass the
that's
exam
true.
with a good score. That's perfect answer. So it just means like, yeah, you got a really good score, maybe like the best in the class. So if I were to use it in a sentence, I would say, wow, I passed the exam with flying colors. Now again, makes absolutely no sense. Colors do not fly. They are not physical beings that have wings. And this is part of the peculiarity of English, is that we will take ideas that are not they do not belong to like the physical realm, and we will use them as physical beings. It's really crazy. But I just picked this one to illustrate how crazy idioms can get. They can get super, super weird. But yeah, have you heard this one before, Veronica, like in a movie, or have you read it?
I have.
Yeah, I have too, but I feel like in Indonesia, it's not common to
I don't think
see
so.
language like that.
True.
All right. Is it how well someone has completed a task? Yeah, I think so.
You can say that.
You can say that. Yeah. Get a good grade. Yeah, Akma, that's good. Oh, Veronica said no, just a guess. That's a really good guess.
or it can be, maybe if I can put it in relationship terms, I can say like, he passed the husband test with flying colors.
Sure, you could say that, but that's a very odd way to use it. Usually, it's reserved for academic stuff.
Yeah,
but sure. You want to?
Well, you can just play.
A+. That's fine.
Play along with that, make it more complicated than it is. Okay, let's go. Atika, go ahead. You were here last week, right? I remember you. Go ahead, Atika. Ooh, are you able to unmute yourself? Yes, go ahead.
I would choose number 10, please.
Sure. Goofing off.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Interesting. Reminds me of dogs.
Yeah,
again, animal.
Dog, but I'm not really sure about this because I've never heard before. Can you give me an example?
All right, I can say I was not paying attention in class today. I was busy goofing off.
Yeah, I think everyone
doesn't really help you that much, but a little.
Yeah, most of them are correct. Yeah.
Is it like the student is doing something else besides their learning?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I'll take that. It means like doing nothing. They're just playing around, no focus, lazy person. Yeah, that works too. Doesn't take it seriously. Yeah, that's great. I think you can do it. Yeah. So it's a state of being. It's not really an activity. It's like the lack of activity. I'm goofing off. I'm distracted. Yeah, perhaps you could say that too. Oh, Dedek just heard it on a Friends sitcom. Yeah, if you want to learn phrases,
there's a lot of sitcom. There's a lot
watch the 86 seasons of Friends that never ends, even though that show is like older than me. All right, good. Let's do another.
Okay. Who would like to try? No one is raising their hands
anymore. What about
anymore.
Atika?
Already, just now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who hasn't done it yet? Let's see.
Odhi? Has Odhi gone?
Yeah, I think he did. Sarfina, are you there? Go ahead, Sarfina. I think we still have a lot of muted participants here. We gotta ask them to speak up. Go ahead. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Let's pick a number, please. Go ahead.
Maybe number 3.
3, okay. Hit the books. Do you know what this means?
The book.
I think Ahmad's right.
Yeah, good. Ahmad is correct.
Can anyone use it in a sentence, though?
Yeah, that will be trickier. Anyone? So, do you know the meaning to this? Sarfina?
I think you're close, Fiona. I would just change book to books.
Books.
Yeah, it's usually always like a plural, but you're right. You're right. It's kind of like, we use it as a verb almost. It's like an activity. I should hit the books before the next exam. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All of these are correct.
Well done, guys. Okay. So we still have 3 more. Warni, are you? Oh, yes, Mr. Toyo. Go ahead, Mr. Toyo. You're raising your hand.
I try. Number 6.
Yes, please. 6. Cover a lot of ground.
Maybe he or someone try to hide which he doesn't understand anything. Cover a lot of ground.
Not sure about that. I think, let's see, it means, I'll use it in a sentence. I can say, if I'm like a teacher or a professor, I can say, well, guys, today's lesson will cover a lot of ground. So please pay attention.
What do you think,
What does
Mr.
that mean?
Toyo? Do you know what that means?
It's a really difficult lesson. So you must.
Okay, that's a little closer. Yeah, it's like a difficult lesson, but it's also like a long lesson. It's a lesson that covers a lot of material, talks about
Very specific, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of information being communicated.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe like a difficult lesson or a long lesson. I would shift more towards quantity than difficulty, though. If I say we have a lot of ground to cover, it's not necessarily difficult, but it is certainly long. So you know for sure there is going to be a lot of information. Could be easy, could be hard. You don't know. But what you do know is that there's a lot of it. So yeah, I think some people in the chat got it right.
I think they complicated, not necessarily complicated.
Not necessarily complicated. So again, I would shift away from difficulty and move more towards length.
The number of things that you're going to discuss.
Exactly.
Okay, so you'll get a lot of information. Yes, I think this is more towards the correct. Yeah, Audrey, good. All right, well done, guys. And let's go with Warni. Go ahead, Warni. I think you were here as well last week, weren't you? Warni, are you there? Go ahead.
Maybe I choose number 9.
9, sure. Cutting class.
Cutting class.
With scissors?
Maybe I was to try is cutting class. Wait.
Feel free to write it in the chat box as usual, guys.
All right, so
you got it right, guys.
Yeah, I see some people. What is bolos?
Bolos is not coming to class.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cutting class, skipping class, same thing. It's just different words, but I want you to get in the habit of learning different ways to say one idea, because that's what English is all about. We have a lot of different ways to express one idea. So I can say cut class, skip class, leaving class. Like there's so many words I can use, and you have to get familiar with all the different forms it takes. Yeah. All right, good. Let's do 11, the last one.
Who wants to go, guys? Anyone?
Let's go with Dedik.
Oh
Dedik.
yeah, go ahead, Dedik.
What's the last one, bro?
It's for you.
All right.
Make the grade.
Grade. Make a good score, or make something better.
You know, that's close enough. I'll give it to you. that's close enough. I think make the grade is it's not necessarily a good score, but it is the score you wanted. So for example, if I'm aiming for a B in a class and I get a B, I made the grade. I'm done. I got the minimum amount of points. Yeah, it's like reaching the goal, right? So that can be good score. It can be an okay score. It kind of depends on what it means to you, but it's kind of like, reaching your standard. Audrey said it well. Reaching the standard, making the grade. It's like doing enough to pass the class, kind of.
That's true.
So yeah.
So I actually hated math, and for me 6 is good enough. You know, that's my passing grade. So
nice.
Yeah, I
Shoot
want
for
to
the
make
stars.
it great. Okay, good job, guys. So I reach your standard. Well, I think Audrey put it really nicely. Yeah, reach your standard.
Yeah.
Nice. Good one. Good one, guys. So do you understand all of these? Is there any questions before we go to the next slide?
Yeah, I don't expect you guys to remember all of these if they're not familiar to you, but if you can remember even like 3 or 4, that's enough for me, because idioms and phrasal verbs are quite difficult to learn and even harder to apply in everyday speaking or writing. So just focus on like 3 or 4. If you can remember those, you're good to go. That's enough.
Exactly. And if you're already familiar with it, leave it. Okay. I mean, just try to focus on things that's new for you. Okay.
May I add something?
Yes, please, Mr. Toyo.
Are these words practiced only in United States or in another English-speaking countries?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think idioms vary by location. I'm American, so I'm just picked like American idioms that I hear sometimes, but you can find these in almost every country. I think a lot of these are cross-cultural. They affect many different areas of the world. So teacher's pet means the same thing in America and Britain, right?
Okay.
So these don't change meanings when you change borders. A lot of these are the same no matter where you are. However, there are some phrasal verbs or idioms that are exclusive to America or Britain or Germany. And for those, it's a little more difficult, but I tried not to include some of those here. I think all of these mean the same thing, no matter where you go.
Internationally accepted, basically.
Yes, this is the general standard, international standard.
Right. Okay. So I hope that helps, Mr. Toyo. Anybody has another question, maybe? Feel free to type it down as well. Yes, Nurmadia Pata. Can you unmute yourself and go ahead, ask away?
Thank you for the opportunity. I would ask especially Mr. J. Smith.
Jesse.
Jesse. Okay. My questions are: how is an idiom formed, and is history explaining about idioms?
That's a pretty good question.
About this.
Yeah, it's really interesting how linguistics works. Yeah, there is an entire academic field dedicated to how English words are developed, how they evolve. You know, if you're asking me like, where do idioms come from? There is no way I can tell you like where they come from. They have evolved and changed over so many generations that I would really have to like do a research paper to tell you how we came up with cover a lot of ground or learn by heart. Idioms evolve and English evolves every day. A lot of idioms are outdated or expired. We simply don't use them anymore. So it's an evolving language. It's like but the way we come up with them is we just we combine what is real, what is unreal. So we'll take a concept that is related to the topic we're discussing, but then we'll just add something completely different, just because it's come from some historical context that I don't know, right? Linguistics, I'm sure know it, but I don't know where it comes from, like flying colors, right? Pass, that's a word we commonly use for describing success in a test, right? I passed the test, you can. But then we take flying colors, which has no discernible connection to getting a good score, and we mix them. Yeah.
Like maybe it's a rainbow and it makes you feel happy, you know?
Who knows? Like, who knows? Like, you would have to ask a linguistic professor where this comes from. I can tell you one half, like pass. I can tell you that part, but the other part, no way. Yeah. No way. I'm not even going to try.
Maybe like raining cats and dogs. Sometimes we see cats and dogs are fine, you know, they don't fight all the time, but that means that it's like raining with thunders and everything. See?
Yeah, so, it's a very interesting question that I am not positioned to answer whatsoever. But yeah, it would be an interesting project to kind of find out where stuff comes from.
That's gonna take a long time, though.
Afada said is idiom same like slang language, kind of. But slang, I feel like, is a very umbrella term that we use for words that are not necessarily phrasal verbs as well. So, for example, if I say, "Hey, what's up?" right? That's kind of like a slang word, but it's not necessarily like a phrasal verb or a proper idiom. It's just, what's up? It's just a word we say to, say hello. So I would say some slang are idioms, but not all idioms are slang. You understand? So it's like there's some of this group belongs to this group. But
there's some elements that you can put, sometimes not.
Exactly. But yeah, that's a good question because I know a lot of people think what we're speaking is slang, but not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, actually, I have this interesting question in the beginning of this chat from Sanuwalini. So she or he asked, I found some phrasal verbs need subject in between them, like we just mentioned before, like pick me up. Yeah, that needs subject. And I think he got confused with the rules to know which one of phrasal verb needs a subject or an object.
I'm not sure if any rules are actually applying to idioms. We don't have any formal kind of rule structure for how to put together idioms.
Sorry, I think this is about phrasal verbs.
Or phrasal verbs, whatever. They're both of these English concepts are very abnormal. They don't follow proper grammatical rules most of the time. Yeah. So if you're asking me like, how do I know where a subject is? The answer is you don't. It's on a case-by-case basis. You would have to take each phrase individually to determine whether a subject is needed or not, which I know that's not the answer you want to hear, but English is hard.
But again, most of the time you can put subject in between the verb and the preposition.
I want to say that too. But again, there's always exceptions.
Yeah, there will always be exception.
Yeah.
So just be safe, guys. I mean, you can always Google it before you actually use it. Okay, so speaking of what Jesse also mentioned, that a lot of idioms are pretty outdated, and we even have new idioms that we might not know. So we have pump it or dump it. Here, some of them is not considered, are not in the boxes that we just opened just now. So how would we do this, Jesse?
So yeah, these like I said, English evolves, and a lot of idioms are outdated. And sometimes I will hear people use outdated phrasal verbs or idioms, and it's okay. But if you really want to speak in like a modern way, you should definitely try to figure out which phrasal verbs are like accepted in 2021 and which ones come from like 1930, right? Because you don't want to sound like you're your grandfather, right? You want to sound like you've learned English in this millennium. So you really should try to figure out which ones are new, which ones are old, which ones are like kind of in the middle, like they're used sometimes but not too commonly. So this exercise will kind of help you with that. We're just going to go down each phrase and try to figure out if it's outdated. Like tell me if you think it's old, or is it new? Something that is commonly spoken by English speakers in the year 2021.
Okay, so they need to decide that, yeah?
Yeah, they should decide that. Like just, let me know how you feel.
All right, so what about A for effort? We can go from there?
Yeah, so A for effort, maybe we can call on Mr. Muhammad. What do you think? Muhammad Nasim.
Are you there?
All right. Can you repeat, please?
So A for effort, if I use that phrase, is that like a new modern idiom that is used by English speakers, or is that outdated language? Is that like old English?
Or perhaps, do you know the meaning to this idiom?
Effort is, in Indonesia, effort is usaha. And A for effort is, I don't really get it.
So if I use it in a sentence, I can say like, well, you didn't do that great on the test. You got a low score, but you tried really hard. So I give you an A for effort.
All right.
There you go.
So
I would say it's the same like nice try.
Yeah, it's essentially like nice try, right?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, Audrey said at least you try.
Yeah,
that's right.
it's kind of like, you put in an effort, at least you try, something like that. All of that is the same. So is this something that is new or old, or?
What do you think? Can you decide whether to pump it or to dump it? What do you say? Are you still there? I think he's muted already. Are you still there, Muhammad? What was his name again? Muhammad
Nasim.
Nazim, just call
Nazim.
me.
Oh yeah, Nazim. Okay. So what do you think, Nazim? Is A for effort needs to go, or we pump it, as in we can still use it to this date?
Pump it or trump it? Wait, I don't really get it.
We're just asking you, is this like a modern phrase, or is this like old English?
Maybe modern.
Yeah, so this is actually old. This is old English. So as Kiky alluded to earlier, usually we just say try it. We don't actually say A for effort, which is why maybe some of you are confused as to the meaning, because we don't really say it. It's old style speaking. So people just say like, at least you tried, or, something like that, like good effort. I don't know, something like that. But we don't say A for effort really anymore. So yeah, I would say dump it. I wouldn't use this one. Yeah, I wouldn't really use it in a modern situation.
I would say nice try,
Yeah, nice try is more natural.
Right. Okay, guys, I think we have a limited time right now. So maybe we can go with one more or maybe two more.
Okay.
Okay, who would like to try?
Well, let's try flunked out. And I want to hear from Mr. BJ. What do you think it means?
Mr. Toyo, you mean?
Toyo.
Which one, sir?
Flunked out.
This one, flunked out.
Out. Yes, I think this is we can continue it from out. I mean.
I see. Pump it, yeah? You mean pump it?
Pardon?
We can still use it, yeah?
Yeah, we can still do that.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. So flunked out, I've heard it before. There are alternatives, but this isn't so outdated that it's not used anymore. So it basically means you failed or you did not succeed, right? I flunked out of gym class or I flunked out of math last semester.
That sounds cool to me.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like not, I mean, I don't want to say new, but it's not old.
Yeah.
People still use it sometimes, but it means failed.
No, it is me. But when we say to our friend, it's like very much to it at the present day.
Yeah, you can say it with your friends in the present day. I think it's okay. So for example, but this is used like usually in academic settings. Yeah. So it doesn't refer to like your work in a professional sense, like your job. It's usually for university, high school. So maybe with your friends, I wouldn't say it, but maybe, with your son or your daughter, perhaps they would say it like, at school, I flunked out of my algebra class, something like that. But yeah, this isn't quite old. I wouldn't dump this quite yet, I guess.
Okay. Let's do one more. I think we have Bunga. Go ahead, Bunga. Are you there? Or do we still have time or not quite? Is it okay if we do one more?
I see Jasmine there.
Yeah, I know, right? Jasmine, is it okay if we
what's
continue
up?
or we can stop it from here?
Yeah, sure. One more would be good.
Oh, great,
All right,
great.
I'm gonna pick one more.
Yes.
Bombing the exam. I want to hear from Nirmadia. What do you think?
Bombing the exam. Okay.
Is this new or old?
What do you think?
Bombing the exam.
Bombing the exam.
I think it's new. It's new.
It's new. Yeah, I think that's correct, right? New. This is definitely new. I have used this before, right? I bombed the exam, or I'm going to bomb the exam. Again, tenses apply to our idioms and phrasal verbs, but it does mean fail the exam, right? So whereas flunk out means you failed the class, bombing the exam means you failed a very specific test. And yeah, Audrey, you're right. You're correct as well. It means like failing your own exam.
Failing big time, I guess.
Yeah, failing big time.
That's
it's like
why they use bomb here.
Yeah, like bomb is a very severe term, right?
Destructive.
Yeah, it's very destructive. It's like a big fail. Like you really sucked at that test. So you can say I bombed the exam. That's it's new.
So I think we have another one that also means fail the exam, but not bombing the exam, which is not really in a really bad way.
Oh, which
right?
one?
What was that again? I think in the previous idiom.
Oh, I forgot. Do you remember?
Yeah, me neither.
But you know it's there. You just don't know what it is.
Well, my point is when you're really, really bad, having like if your grade is really, really bad, then you can express it by saying this.
Yeah. So that really illustrates the levels of depth that phrasal verb and idioms have. Like you literally have a phrasal verb for a lot of different and specific ideas, like even levels of failure.
Yeah,
we have
that's true.
Idioms and phrasal verbs
Different
for.
idioms.
Conversely, levels of success. I'm sure there are a lot of idioms to measure that as well.
True. Anyway, guys, I think I have to give it up to our host for now.
Yes.
It's been great having you guys here, and thank you so much for your participation. You guys are great. I hope you learned something today. Okay, so I think I have to have Jasmine. Go ahead. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Miss Kiky, and also Mr. Jesse for another fantastic session for this evening. So earlier in this event, I asked you guys a social media question, and the question was, which one of these options is the synonym for belief? Is it A, conviction, invitation, admonition, or superstition. So which one of these is the correct answer? Well, the correct answer to the synonym for belief is actually B, conviction. So shout out to our winner from Instagram, Arkan Hanif Saputra, for answering correctly. Now, for those of you who would like to participate in our social media quiz next time, you can tune in from the very beginning of the event because that's when we'll be sharing our question. Now, earlier in the event, I also mentioned that At America is having a giveaway. This August, we are having Academania, in which we are giving out a voucher for the TOEFL IBT test and another American standardized test of your choice. To know more about this activity and how to join, you can go to the link at atam.tv/academania for more information. And tonight we have given out our third keyword. And for those of you who want to find out on that, you guys can go to the link at atam.tv/academania3 with the number 3 in the end. Remember, this link is time limited, so the sooner you get it, the better. All right, so for those of you who are wondering, how can you develop an awesome idea at an awesome place like At America? It's really easy. You guys can just go to our website at www.atamerica.org.id, select create a program, and go to collaborate with us. All proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. And while you guys are on our website, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter so you guys get updates sent straight to your inbox. And also don't forget to follow us on our social media for fun content, event updates, and many more. I hope you have a good evening and see you at the next At America TV event. Bye-bye, everybody.